Welcome to EPG Parshala. I am Dr. Bishwajit Ghosh, Professor of Sociology of the University of Bardhaman. I am also the coordinator of the paper called Methodology of Research in Sociology. This is a module written by me, and the title of this module is Taking Stock of What is Known, that is, the use of a library. Now, we all know that any research cannot begin unless and until we go to library and search for material. And in fact, any kind of a research endeavor or intellectual endeavor will remain incomplete unless and until libraries of whatever sort is consulted or not. Now, why is the fact that we give importance to library and review of literature in any kind of research? First of all, in order to begin a particular topic for doing research, one needs to know what has already been done earlier by other scholars. This we call a review of literature. That means the literature that exists in the field are to be reviewed by the particular person, by the scholar, before writing a piece. Why at all we ask for such a review? Because you need to know what has already been done by others. Repeating some others' work is not research. Is not research in the sense that you will be basically looking at what others have said. Question is what you have done it. What is your particular contribution in doing a particular research? That is called literature review. Now, in any kind of literature review, the basic point that is asked whether your particular topic that you are looking for has already been tackled by someone else or not. That means the basic beginning of any review of literature is to look for a research that is already being done on your particular topic. In fact, we often ask our students to consult library and resources for even selecting a topic. That means you have decided to do a PhD or any research endeavor or write an article. You need to know what you should do. Even scholars, often come to us confused. Sir, I don't know what is the topic of my research. Please suggest. In fact, that should not be the task of the supervisor. The scholar himself or herself has to go to the resources available, find out what are the gaps, what are the interesting debates there, and then let people know that he or she is interested on this aspect of social relation or social life. This is because of reasons. That means one has to give reasons for becoming interested in a particular topic. Unless and until that objective of research is explained, research becomes a partial endeavor, a sort of technical endeavor. Research is a spontaneous, purposeful endeavor, and as we all know that it is basically done in order to do good for the society, to make certain benefits for the society and social living. This is particularly so for sociological research. So, one has to go to the library, find out whatever has been done, so far being done by others. Now, if you focus on a particular topic and if you are going for literature review, what one should look for? Often students and scholars, they are confused about what to search for. There are plenty of material. There are two types of responses that I have heard. One is, sir, there is no material available on this particular topic. The other is, there is plenty of material available on a particular topic. Now, both these versions are true to the extent that yes, there is plenty of literature, but one has to know and one has to decide what literature one should look for. This is a very, very typical sort of sense one should develop out of searching thing. In fact, when we search at the Google for any kind of material or literature, we call it a garbage box. Garbage box in the sense that Google will provide you plenty of thousands and crores of material on it. You need to know what to search for. That means even for searching in a library or in a particular thing, you have to be focused. How do you focus yourself? There actually, ICSSR's review does a wonderful job. Indian Council of Social Science Research has been publishing different reviews on particular topics. Eminent scholars write on those areas. They review research, what has already been done, what is to be done. These are the purposes of any kinds of review. So once you decide about the particular topic, you also should know why you have selected that particular topic. It must be interesting. It must be interesting to you, and it must be beneficial for the society. So what are the purposes of searching existing literature? If I am asked to categorize 1, 2, 3, number 1, you have to know what is already known in the area. Number 2, what concepts and theories are relevant in this area. Then what are the significant controversies? Significant controversies are to be known through literature review only. Finally, then what are the inconsistencies? Maybe some work is done, but this is not enough in order to know a particular event. So you need to know the gaps in research and look for unanswered questions or answers for unanswered questions. If at all you are able to do so and begin with that, then probably you are on the right path. Then how do you use library? In fact, when I was a student, the shape of the library and the look of the library was different. But now if I enter into any library, it gives a different look. You will find computer rooms first. Earlier it was catalog, cards and call numbers and so on and so forth. I remember I used to had a diary where I used to write down call numbers. Now you do not do that job because computers are there. You just enter the title of a book or author's name. The computer will give me, the desktop computer will give you whether that library had that resource or not. Now all libraries have similar systems of classification. In fact, I was surprised to know that all libraries began from 3001 for classifying social science books. So you have to enter into the library, find out the book, go for subject classification, go for different types of the way a library is categorized. That means once you enter into a library, you have to know how things are kept. One of the thing is, books. Very powerful source of library is books. Now, reference books are available in the library, but in contemporary time, these are also available on the net. Because if you write a topic in the Google, then the books, if you just write books on a particular topic, for instance, books on gender relations, it will give you thousands of books and articles on gender relations. You have to note it down. You may go straight to the library, find out what books are available there. You may also look for virtual sites. Another important site is journal articles. Journal articles are interesting because a book might be written in 2010, published in 2010, but it was written in 2006. That means the gap in research, gap in timing of research is important. But most of the articles published in journals, they are of recent time, they are of recent origin. That means an article published in 2016 was written hardly in 2016 or 2015. You get to know about the recent interpretation, recent data, and most of the journal articles, they talk about particular issue, not a broad issue. A book might be handling a larger issue about theoretical framework, methodological setting and so on and so forth, but a journal article handles only a particular critical issue. So you have to look for journal articles. One major source of literature is encyclopedia and dictionaries. Why I am asking for encyclopedia is that you get a synoptic view of on a particular topic in encyclopedia, and these are all written by eminent scholars. You get a summary of everything. Additionally, you get references on a particular topic, and these are all serious references cited in the text. In the dictionaries, you get to know about important terminologies because you need to define a particular term that you are using, and that becomes crucial for any kind of research. Another important type of document is officially published documents. For instance, we are aware of census. Census data is used for any kind of research. There are annual reports published by all government departments. Economic survey is often used to get to know about poverty rate. For instance, you are working on crime record. You need to go to National Crime Record Bureau's Crime in India in order to know what are the details of that. So there are many independent agencies, they publish their reports, and these reports are very credible for doing any kind of research. You can also look for mass media output, newspapers, visible and visual media printouts, in order to know what people are writing on a particular thing and what is available on a day-to-day incidents. For instance, you are working on crime against women. You might look into the media reports during the last 1 year. What has been the published report on crime against women in a particular district or in a particular state? That would give you an idea about the veracities of crimes committed against women. And most importantly, doctoral dissertations and theses are important sources of information today. When I was a student, when I was doing my PhD, we didn't have that facility to consult many more PhD theses from across the country. But now this has become a possibility due to UGC's credible work of Shuddh Ganga. In Shuddh Ganga and Shuddh Gangotri, this is a repository of PhD theses and their abstracts. Shuddh Ganga is the repository of PhD thesis and Shuddh Gangotri is the repository of abstracts. In order to know that, in order to know a particular thesis, you have to go to that and download it. One interesting thing is indexes, abstracts and reviews published in social sciences. These indexes and abstracts and reviews give you a list of books available on a particular topic or list of articles written on a particular topic. There are international efforts, citation bibliographies where these articles published globally are available. Now, along with that, there is electronic database. We often speak about Google Baba, in the sense that Google will provide you all material, books, articles, database, records and so on and so forth. So there is a tremendous stress on resource, but one has to take it with care. What care? Because Google is a garbage box in the sense that it provides you all data, thousands of materials available. How much time can you devote for downloading things? So you have to be careful in downloading and doing research on that. Now, internet sites I'm speaking about in the sense that you get to know about PhD theses published from all foreign universities also on the net. You get to learn about reviews of books on a particular book on the net. Even this EPG Pathshala is an endeavor to make people aware of the recent developments in a particular subject through internet activity. So unless and until somebody, I believe you all are aware of this, somebody goes into internet activities, one cannot do research. Now, there are certain issues concerning use of secondary literature. Secondary literature means literature produced by someone else. What are these issues? Number one, you need to know who is the author of that particular research. Unless and until the author is stated, you cannot state it in the references or bibliographies where you are writing them. Then what is the source of that material? Who published that material? And then what is the methodology of that particular work? And what is the context of that particular work? Why I am saying all these? For instance, you are doing a village study in the district of Birbhum. Now a data published or a survey done on a Tamil Nadu village, you are quoting that data in order to supplement your argument. The question would be that Tamil Nadu study was done through participant observation and you are doing it through survey method. So both the scholars have followed different method. Again, that Tamil Nadu study was done in 1960s and you are doing it in 2016. So probably unless these database, the year in which the research was done, the methodology in which that was followed to do that work, unless these are carefully noted, you probably will be handicapped in using research. One important task that scholars must note is the referencing of works by others. This is most important today because in all sorts of publication activity, we look for authentic data, authentic article, whether this is your data, this is your article, this is your argument or someone else's argument. If for instance, you publish, you take credit for others' argument, this is a crime and this is called plagiarism. Plagiarism means you are copying someone's data, someone's argument and claiming it to be your own. Now, this is a crime and if you're caught, your article will not be published, number one, it will be withdrawn. and your thesis, if you are awarded thesis degree, it will be taken away. Not only that, there are many instances of teachers being punished for plagiarizing work. So this is a very serious crime, and students and scholars should be very careful about copying others. Now, what are the precautions one should take in order to avoid that? First is, you have to note down the work that is done by others. What is the work being done? What is the author's name? What is the year? What is the source, publishing house, and so forth, so and so forth. These details are to be noted in order to cite a particular work. So you have to develop a mentality that you should write down the details of a particular work once you start reading it. Secondly, you should also cite that reference in the text and also in the references or bibliography part. There are different styles of citation. You can use computer, you can use your standard knowledge to cite a citation, unless and until a citation is cited. Unless and until it is carefully done, it will be argued as copied material. Now, one important precaution one should take: if you are quoting a particular title, that means you are using a quotation, page numbers must be given. Why page number? To authenticate that you are quoting from a particular distinct source. That's why you are giving the page number. And interestingly, all these resources, how to do it, how to avoid plagiarism, these are available online. Let me do a summary of the whole work. Consulting library, consulting sources available online, whether you are in a library or in a virtual site, is a must for any kind of research activity, whether it is for writing an article or it is for preparing a note. Even for a simple work of preparing for your MA examination, you have to consult library. Now, consulting library is very easy these days, because you might not even go to a library to consult a library. There are online virtual libraries where books are available. Theses, PhD theses are available online. Articles, journal articles, and even books are available online. That makes the task easy, but that also makes the task very crucial, in the sense that you have to quote somebody, you have to refer to somebody in order to avoid the crime of plagiarism. Now, all libraries have a standard format of classifying material, keeping them in stacks and distributing them. You have to know the style and collect book. After you collect a book, after you start reading a book, particular material, you have to relate it with the topic that you are writing. Unless and until you are able to link that with the topic on which you are working, then actually it becomes a very tedious task. One way to do so is to go to indexing. All books have indexes: subject index, author index. Very easy to find out the topic that you are looking for. So in this way, consulting a reference book, consulting a library, consulting an article is very easy. One additional task that is available, that has become very easy, is review of books and articles available online. Even newspaper, they publish book reviews. Book review means somebody has read the book, the basic content of the book is available, the criticism and advantage, positive and negative evaluation of the book is available. If you read that book, then it becomes easy for you before you read the book totally. In this way, consulting library and digital online or offline libraries is very good endeavor, and through such expertise you not only enlighten yourself, you also get to know how to write an article, how to prepare yourself for writing a PhD thesis, and also contribute yourself for the whole society. One interesting point that I must add here: when you write something, when you contribute something, one should ask you a question: what for you are doing it? Is it for yourself or for the society? That question is basic in any social science research, because what for sociology is, it is for the society, it is for the social being. Now, if your research does not contribute to the social well-being of people, common man on the street, what is the purpose of writing that article or doing that research? So, in order to do a service to the society, you have to know what society needs, what kind of data is available on society. And for that also you have to go to library, to sources, in order to know what people are speaking. How do you know what people are saying? Through research activity done by social researcher, sociologist, anthropologist. For instance, if you want to know about village life, read syllabus, read other scholars. They have written in various places about the culture of village life, about the structure of village life, about the processes of village life. Unless and until you read those, you won't be able to focus yourself on a particular point. Now, the basic purpose of going to library, reading books, reading articles, online resources, as I've already told you, even theses are available, book reviews are available, is basically providing a service to the human being. What is that service? You are reading an article, doing a research in order to provide better solutions to the problems that human beings are facing, better theoretical understanding, better way of analyzing social life. So, my friends, the purpose of review of literature is much bigger than what we see in normal life. The purpose is relating yourself with the available literature available online, offline, whatever it may be, and then relating with the basic object of doing research. That object is a much larger agenda for any kind of social research. Hopefully, internet and Google is available to you. There are different online journal services. For instance, JSTOR is the one common available services. UGC provides inflipt services to all scholars. All libraries have these services. So you will be available, you can download this material free of cost from any university library. You can also do it from your private spaces, but that request permission. But whatever it may be, information in the information society, there is information revolution. Throughout the world, information is available. Whatever scholars from Oxford or Cambridge are doing, they're available to you. You can also see their theoretical contributions, their practical contributions, and relate with the particular work you are doing. In this way, research today is a global endeavor. It is not a local thing, even though you are working on a localish agenda. But if you see that your finding correlates with the finding of those in Bangladesh, in China, in Pakistan, going beyond South Asia, it's interesting. You can become a global, you can link up global issues with a particular issue. That issue of poverty, for instance, is not local, it is global. Issue of illiteracy, gender crime is not local, it is global. In this way, I think you can contribute more generously to the development of a social science literature that would actually make your research more credible and available to all of you. Thank you very much.